Okay, folks, please pay attention to this whole video. What I'm about ready to present here is so obvious. It's absolutely on top of all the amounts of information I've already revealed about Joe Biden and January the 13th coming up. This just made me, if nothing happens to Joe Biden on that day, I will be surprised, but definitely we're going to see some predictive programming. But what I'm about ready to show you is so obvious and so perfectly scripted that this reality is a complete scripted joke. So let's just get right down to the nitty-gritty. The first thing you guys need to know is that Pluto, okay, the god Pluto, is the ruler of the underworld. But the planet Pluto, I'm going to tie both the planet and the god together. But in Greek mythology, Pluto wields a BIDENT, as in a Biden. How much more obvious can you get here, guys? A BIDENT and Biden, which means two. Bi means two, okay? Biden came out on 2/22/2022 at 2:22, okay? I just told you that BIDENT, which has the word bi in it, meaning two, his name's Biden. He comes out at 2/22/2022 at 2:22 on a Tuesday, okay? And what's special about this day, guys, was this was USA's Pluto return. Okay, I just told you Pluto, the wielder of the BIDENT, means two. Biden comes out at 2:22 on 2/22/22. I can repeat it many times just so you guys understand the significance. Okay, on a Tuesday, and that day just happens to be America's Pluto return. What that means is that Pluto, being the farthest planet from the sun, takes the longest time to go around the sun. Okay, and what a Pluto return means is that Pluto returns in the same place that it was in the birth chart of America when it was founded in 1776. So it's a huge event, okay? Now, if you go to Stellarium, and thank you for the help with this from one of my buddies who gives me a lot of good information. If you go to Stellarium, which is the astrology's thing, you'll actually find that, see, most people said that Pluto's return was 2/22/2022, which is when Biden came out. But you're going to see that later in this video, I'm going to say that Pluto's return was actually March 25th, according to Stellarium astrology app, and that's 3/25. Okay, and I'm going to show you how that ties in a minute. But the first thing I want you guys to just clearly see here is that all the twos and how Pluto wields a BIDENT, and Biden is, I mean, it's so obvious, guys. Okay? So Biden is born a Scorpio, and the ruling planets of Scorpio are both Mars and Pluto. So again, what are the chances, guys, that Pluto wields a BIDENT? Okay, he comes out at 2/22 on Pluto's return, and the sign he's born in is ruled by Pluto and Mars. I'm going to tie both these planets in. Mars is the god of war. When Biden came out on 2/22/22, it was about the war in Ukraine. Again, going back to his alignment with Mars being born in Scorpio, because Mars is the planet of war. Okay, and remember, it was a Tuesday, which is the day of Mars. Okay, and so Biden's a Scorpio, and Scorpio equals 41, which is the 13th prime. Remember, I'm talking about January 13th. I'm going to tie more 13s in at the end of this video. Okay? And the magic square of Mars, okay? Each planet has a magic square. And the magic square of Mars, again, because he came out on a Tuesday on Pluto's return, he's born in Scorpio, which is Mars and Pluto. The magic square of Mars, okay, has a total of 325. If you add up all the numbers in the magic square of Mars, it totals 325. Okay? From the day Biden came out on Tuesday, the day of Mars and the Pluto's return, it was 325 days until Friday the 13th. Do you see what I mean? the magic square of Mars has 325. He came out on a Tuesday, the day of Mars. He was born in Scorpio, the sign of Mars. And 325 days, which is the total amount of value in the Mars square, is exactly Friday, the January the 13th. Not only that, guys, but 325, that number, is the 25th triangular number. This is all about the fives, the values of 5 here. Okay? And notice that 5 to the square times 13, again, going back to the 13, is 325. Now, if that wasn't enough, Biden equals 25. Devil, Pluto could be associated with Hades or the devil, equals 25. We're about ready to enter the year of the rabbit on 122. 25. Pope, who just died, a former pope just died, equals 25. Okay? And remember, his square, the Mars magic square, has 325. That's the 25th triangular number. Biden equals 25. Okay? I hope you guys are understanding this because it's so obvious. Now, let's go to this story. Because Biden loses a golf ball in the U.S. Virgin Islands on December 31st, 2022, the last day of the year. Guess what else happened that day, guys? Okay, well, here's the backstory. He loses it while he's golfing with his grandson, Hunter. Okay? Well, that same day is when the Pope died. I just showed you that Pope equals 25, just like Biden, and the connection with the Mars magic square, the 325 and the 25. Remember, it's 325 days from Pluto's return when Biden came out at 222 to Friday, January the 13th. Okay? And Biden loses his golf ball last day of the year in 2022 in the Virgin Islands, the same day the Pope dies. Remember, Biden is the second Catholic Pope after JFK. This is a Catholic Pope. Or, sorry, guys, Biden is the second Catholic president after JFK, and this is the Catholic Pope. Notice that their names, both are Joseph, and they have exact value, and it's not just any random number, guys. It's 325 again. Just look, 325, like the Mars magic square. Okay? Like Biden was born in Scorpio, which is ruled by Mars and Pluto. Like he came out at 222 on Mars Day on Pluto's return. Bi means 2, Biden. Okay? And it's just so crazy, guys. So now let's try again all this. On January 13th, Biden is meeting the Prime Minister of Japan, which is known as the land of the rising sun. Get it, guys? The rising sun, the birth of the sun. Okay? Which is going to take out the Biden or the Hades, right? The devil. Remember Jesus, the rising sun? He defeats the devil, right? The symbolism. Okay? But what I want you guys to notice is that, remember, in my last video I told you that there's a movie coming out on this day, January 13th, about a plane crash. Go watch my last video to tie all these plane crash things. But just notice that Joe Biden plane crash equals 100, just like Land of the Rising Sun, and he's meeting the Land of the Rising Sun Prime Minister on that day. And the movie about a plane crash is coming out that day. And he loses a golf ball in the U.S. Virgin Islands 13 days before that, on the day the Pope dies. Sudden destruction, U.S. Virgin Islands. Okay? Also, the other Catholic Pope, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, also equals 100. Okay? And now, the other one here is Nelia Hunter Biden, who died in a car crash. Get it, guys? Another crash. She died exactly 5 days before the Immaculate Conception. Remember Franco Harris that died? Well, Franco Harris died this year. He made the Immaculate Reception on December 23rd, 1972. Nelia Hunter, Joseph Biden's wife, died 5 days before that. Remember, this is all about the fives, guys. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 to the square times 13 is 325, just like Joseph Robinette Biden equals 325. Okay? So she dies, basically, so back to the hundreds, guys. So her name equals 100, just like U.S. Virgin Islands, where Biden loses a golf ball with his grandson, Hunter, and his ex-wife middle name was Hunter. Okay? And 100 days before January 13th, because of all these 100s, is, well, you guessed it, guys, it's October 5th. And the reason it's important about that day is because On October 5th, the world's oldest dog died. Okay? And Biden is the oldest president after JFK. So do you guys get it? It's coming full circle. JFK is the youngest ever president, and he was a Catholic. Biden's the oldest ever president. He's a Catholic. They both die. Okay? Notice that the dog died 100 days before January the 13th is named Pebbles, which again is a 25 going back to Biden. Okay? Now, to close this out, his wife, Nelia Hunter Biden, died on the 13 days left in the year in 1972. Okay? The Pope, who I already tied together with his name, the Pope's full name, that died this year on the 31st equals 325, just like the magic square has the 325. Okay? And Nelia Hunter dies 13 days left in the year. The Pope this year, the former Pope Joseph, dies at the end of the year, and Biden is going to go 13 days into the year. Do you see the 13s, guys? So the Pope dies 13 days in between the anniversary of his wife's death and his death. Okay? And notice it's the same day of the year, obviously. The 13th day of the year and the 13 days left in the year. And that's a total of 3 weeks and 5 days, and Catholic equals 35. So that's why a Catholic Pope died in the middle of his ex-wife's anniversary and his death. Okay? I'm just saying that if this is what happens, this is exactly what the riddle would be. I'm not saying it's absolutely going to happen, but it's looking pretty clear that it might. And just to top it all off, guys, again, the Pope dies right in the middle of his ex-wife. And remember, 5 to the power, 5 squared, okay, times 13 is 325. Joseph Aloysius Ratzinger, the Pope that died, equals 325. Joe Biden plane crash, 325. Joseph Robinette Biden, 325. Okay? So obvious, guys. Absolutely obvious. So thanks you again, guys, for watching. Please take care. I'll see you in the next one.